This is a too long, didn't watch wrap-up video for my pop-up trailers solar charging unit that I put together. It uses a 100-watt single panel monocrystal solar panel that you can get off Amazon for I think under $190. Do not buy the Harbor Freight 100-watt solar panels, which is like 3 or 4 panels. They're junk. You need 4 panels that are the size of the one I've got to produce 100 watts, whereas this one can easily do 100 watts on one panel. Now, before I started on all this, I bought the solar panel in 2012. I bought this solar charging regulator from Harbor Freight, and it seems to work fine. Although, you know, if at some point I'll probably have to replace it with a real one. We'll see how it goes. So the basics of it is that this wire goes to the solar panel and comes in here, shows us the voltage output of the solar panel, the amperage draw of this unit charging the battery, and it has an output for the battery charge, the battery, and then it has a load which you can power whatever you want off of this. I've not used that, that's why it's got the green shrink tubing on it. So here's what I found and how well it worked. My pop-up trailer has a pump to pressurize the water tank. It has a sink. It has a small cartridge toilet with flush, water flush. It has several lights, little 12-volt lights. It has a small heater. And I think that's about it for the power requirements. Don't really use the lights very much in the trailer. I use at least not now. I'm going to get some LED lights. The regular ones pull too much amperage. The battery in here, if it's not too cold, can last the night. What I did was I ran it for a couple of days, charged it, ran it, charged it, and about on the 3rd day, when the sun went down and before we used the any power in the trailer, I checked the voltage of the battery, which the battery was showing 12.89 volts, which is very good, fully charged battery. Ran it all night, had the heater set that it would try to keep a temperature in the trailer between 65 and 70 degrees. The outside air temperature was 50 to 60, which means that the heater would cycle about once or twice an hour, and then the next morning I checked the voltage of the battery, and it was showing 12.52 volts, which is 60% charge. So it had only used 40% of the charge during the night. Then I, let the solar panel charge it again, and it was fully charged the next night. As you'll see in a video I'm going to attach to this, I initially thought I was going to have to move the solar panel a lot to keep it in the sun, but it ended up that just moving it twice in the day was all I needed. In fact, probably didn't even need to do that. I don't know what the initial amperage draw was. In the video, I think it shows just under 5 amps, but that was after it had been running, or had been charging for an hour or two. What I would do is I set the charger up, or I mean the panel up on a southeasternly facing wall in the campsite, and just leave it there, and around, say, I don't know, it was around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, the sun would hit it fully, and the sun would stay on it, till about 1 or 2. Then I would have to move it to the westerly facing side of my camper, and then it would get another additional 2 hours. So it easily got 7 hours of charge. I think it was more than enough. The only problems I see with the system is that on a really cold night, which I have experienced this, I've camped in 36-degree weather, the battery, at the time I didn't have a solar power charger. I had to charge it by either hooking it up to my car or hooking up a small generator to it for an hour or two. A couple of times, one time it didn't last the night. It was really cold, and I think I had to change the battery out in the middle of the night, or we either had to turn it off, I can't remember. So on really cold nights I'd have to go to a larger battery or parallel to these smaller ones. In that case, I think it would still be able to charge both batteries, as long as, you know, it wasn't cloudy. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. It really worked well. It saved me a lot of trouble. I didn't have to hook my truck up to the trailer and leave it running for a couple of hours. I didn't have to hook up the 12-volt generator, one of those little Harbor Freight piece of junk 12-volt generator, little 900-watt generators, and you know, and I never was sure if I was getting a good charge or not. Anyways, that's it. It really worked well. Thanks. Alrighty then. So this is a setup. I'm at a campsite in northern Arizona, and it's about 10:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. And what I've done is initially I tried to set this up where I, you know, pointed at the sun early in the morning, but it really does such a good job. And since the heater isn't running all night, it doesn't run the battery that far down. But so I've got a really long cable, and then it goes over here to the front of my trailer, where I've got and if we zoom in, you see we're doing almost 5 amps at about 15 volts. And the charge controller says it's charging. As far as I know, that's doing good enough. It runs the pump in, or it charges it for the pump in the for the water system in the trailer. It looks like if you run the pump and the lights off the battery, it kind of pulls the lights down. And I'm going to probably replace the lights with LEDs internally. Most everything else in the trailer is, you know, the hot water heater is self-powered. It doesn't require any power. I've been using my little Sportsman 1000 watt inverter generator to run a couple of fans, and it works really good. Starts easy. Runs both fans, and even if I wanted to, I could use it to charge the battery. It'll put out 4 amps. So anyways, that's it for now.